And after you have taken refuge, oh, now I've taken refuge, I will never go down to hell. I will never take rebirth again. I will be superstar in my next life. I will be Michael Jackson in my next life. And I will be Michael Jackson with a halo. No, it's not so easy after refuge. No. I'm sorry all of you are not going to be Miss Universe in your next life just because you've taken refuge. After refuge, there are 12 new vows. Surprise. Don't you hate all these numbers? 10, 12. There are 12 new vows that you should know and hold. If you do not hold these vows, guess what? You're going to be back here for another banging session. Number 1, not to go for refuge to teachers who contradict Buddha's view or to samsara gods. Stop hanging out at temples. Stop going out for fortune telling. If your nose is the size of a potato, it does not mean you're going to get rich. Everybody who has a potato nose is not rich in this world. Wrong face feng shui. It doesn't work that way. No, I'm sorry. That is not the real feng shui. If you're in this angle, you're in that angle, you place your furniture here and there, it doesn't affect a thing. How can someone tell you your karma by looking at the lines on your hand? If your line is long, all right, I'll cut myself a little longer. Tell me I'm going to be rich. How can someone tell you what you're going to be by lines on your hand? It's just guessing. It is just guessing. How can someone look at your face and tell you this and that and that? How can someone throw a few cards down, tell you what you're going to be here and there? You make it happen. If Buddha, Jesus, and God can't do it, how can they do it with a bunch of tarot cards? Illogical. Avoid those crazy temples, avoid those crazy oracles and mediums and people who see Kuan Yin, that don't see Kuan Yin, that see Chungdi, that see Amitabha, that see all of them. And they all come and they can't fit in their rooms. Stop it. It's like that movie Ghosts with Whoopi Goldberg. I've seen it. And all of a sudden, all the ghosts are crowding the room and she can see all of them. Actually, it's quite funny, but it's true. How do you know it's Kuan Yin? How do you know that it's actually a deity coming? The medium is an ordinary person. We are ordinary people. How can Kuan Yin come into an ordinary person, tell us everything? If it's so wonderful, Kuan Yin can come into us, and why don't we look in the mirror and talk to ourselves? Don't go to those places. Don't do those things. Not because they're bad. They're unreliable. Some of them I'm sure are good. Some of them I'm sure are a little accurate, but they're not completely accurate. Do not take little pieces of paper to create harmony in your house. Stop nagging your mate, and that's your piece of paper. Stop going there and burning incense and seeing mediums for wealth. Work hard. Make offerings. Practice charity, emotional charity, material charity to gain wealth. That's what Buddha has proclaimed. That's what Jesus has proclaimed. What is little granny down the street wearing all kinds of weird hats and going into transit telling you have to have this paper, eat this, eat that, burn this, burn that, go here, do this, change that, change this, change your name, change your house? How can you change all that and get wealthy? Sorry, granny, it doesn't work that way. They're very good actors. Very good. Once you have taken refuge in the Buddha, no more temples, no more fortune tellers, no more palm readers, face readers, forehead readers, feet readers, scalp readers, card readers, tea leaf readers, coffee cup readers. No more. Just stop right there. Practice karma. Let karma be an experience for your life. Avoid things that bring harm and practice things that bring virtue. That is the greatest fortune. That is your crystal ball. The Buddha's crystal ball. You don't need any other crystal ball. No more gods and heretics that contradict virtuous acts. No more. These are superstitions. They cannot work. How can pieces of paper change your karma? By what power? By what authority? Tell me. By what authority and power? If it's Kuan Yin, she has taught you karma. Just like the Buddha. She's Buddha's disciple. She will tell you what Buddha has said. Be careful, because once you get involved in one of these deities and oracles and spirits, they will follow you. They will get you back the minute you stop. They will harm you. They will get revenge, because these spirits are malicious. Do not take refuge in them. Do not visit them. You follow karma. That's the best refuge. That's the best God. That's the best deity. That's the best temple. Karma. So you should not go to heretical views. You should not go to worldly gods and take refuge in them. If you have an ancestor tablet, if you have a tablet, an altar to the house god and a worldly god, it's okay. You can keep those. You don't have to go home and throw them out. Bye. You don't have to. Sometimes we have to keep them to respect the thoughts of elders, to respect the tradition of our country. That's all right, as long as we don't take refuge. We treat it as a friend. We can offer them sticks of incense. We can offer them flour and water and tea to the house gods, the earth gods, the local deity gods. We can offer them things as we're offering a gift from a friend to a friend. You give them coffee money. Very easy. But you don't pray to them. You just say, oh, I give you this. Please help me like that. Please bless them. Okay, that's it. Stop. Very simple. So you don't have to go home and throw out all 5,000 years of Chinese history and culture. No necessary. That's ridiculous. That's extreme. No necessary. But don't take refuge. Don't have trust in them. Just treat them as a friend. Number 2, to regard any image of the Buddha as an actual Buddha. On one hand, I was a little devastated when I came to the center first. On the other hand, I was very touched. I have offered this center 2 fabulous, beautiful, expensive Buddhas. Very expensive, very beautiful, imported from Thailand and also from Nepal. And they have stuck it on the side in the corner and nobody's looking at them. Whereas there's a teeny little clay Buddha in the center here. It's driving me crazy. We should throw this clay one out and put them in the center because it's more expensive and beautiful, right? No, wrong. Any material the Buddha is made from, any item, any size, as long as it's a Buddha, it should be respected equally. So that is correct. No distinction between the material, the quality, the craftsmanship of a Buddha. Should not criticize. Oh, the Buddha has tiny eyes, a humpback, and he's crooked. You're going to be like that in your next life. You create the karma. Hey, the Buddha's nose is so flat. You're going to be flat-nosed in your next life. How come the Buddha's nose is so pointy? You're going to be Pinocchio. Yes, don't criticize the Buddha statues. Once you have taken refuge, do not criticize the Buddha statues. Do not comment. Do not talk about it. If it's nice, you like it, you take it. You don't say anything. Oh no, I'll pick something else. Be nice. Do not criticize. And do not take the Buddha statues and images on the basis of their quality, their material, how old they are, whether they're antique or not. Whether it's made from plastic, green plastic, or real jade. The jade one put in the center make a lot of offerings. The green ones to the side. No, wrong way. Wrong. No. If it's a Buddha statue, you respect it. You do it. You respect it and you treat it well and you think it's the actual Buddha. Not to make any distinctions. Not to harm others. Number 3. You know what that is, the 10 non-virtues. Number 4, to regard any Dharma scripture as an actual Dharma jewel. All Dharma books should be treated with respect, should be kept in high, clean, and nice places. As I told you, our deeds, our bank accounts, our checkbooks are kept in very clean, safe, nice places, locked up. We wash our hands before we touch it. It's so holy. Dharma books are kept uselessly with our magazines on the side, thrown on the floor, here and there, stepped over, walked over, mistreated. When we turn the pages, we lick. How dirty and disgusting. The Dharma books should be touched and treated with respect. Before you touch it to your forehead. This will bring you to enlightenment. Their worth is immeasurable. It has no count. This will take you to enlightenment. How should you respect something that will take you to full enlightenment? Certainly by not throwing it together with your L and GQ magazines and your newspapers and on the floor and on the coffee table where there's spilled milk and all that and you just throw it there. Where your little baby's going, daddy, daddy, running and robbing and breaking the binding. And then when you turn the pages, you wet it. You leave such a nice thumbprint. That's not the way to do it. You keep the Dharma books even more holier than the Dharma statues. Statues you cannot open up and read and get the Dharma path. Books you can. This is the Dharma in written form. This is Buddha's speech in written form. We take refuge in Buddha's speech. We take refuge in the Dharma. That's the ultimate refuge in the Dharma. So the books should be kept well. And then when we buy makeup and clothes and we want to spend on going to Australia, the sky's the limit. When it's a Dharma book, oh, I don't have enough money. That's not enough. Not so stingy. Dharma books collect merit. Printing them, being a cause for them to be printed, being a cause for them to be spread among other people, will create merits because whoever reads them and their mind is transformed, you are the principal cause. Therefore, any attainments they get will create you to have the same attainments in the future. To give donations helps for printing Dharma books, for giving out Dharma books, for spreading out the Dharma through the Dharma books. You do what you can within your limits. Even to buy the Dharma books yourself. Not to be Mr. Miserly and Miss Cheap and then borrow from the Dharma Center and never give it back. You buy, you keep a collection, and you study and you read. And you look for it. Before you read it, touch it to your heads. because it will bring you to enlightenment. And you read it with respect. You don't read it laying down, picking your nose, sipping on a martini. After 3 martinis, you don't know what you're reading, upside down or what, right? You read it with deep respect. You read it erect. You read it well, and think about the meanings. And don't run around saying, I read that one, I read that one, I read that one. When we look at you, we know you didn't read anything, right? And keep the books well and clean in high places with respect. In fact, if you can, cover it in very beautiful silk brocade cloths. Don't put the brocade cloths on your corpses that you run around these brocade cloths on Chinese New Year's. Everybody wears red. Look at my red brocade. What for? It's red dirt and just destroys the brocade. Put it on a Dharma book, collect merit. You should celebrate Chinese New Year's by decorating your Buddhas and decorating your Dharma books, not decorating your corpses. See? Dharma books should be respected. It should not ever be placed on the floor. It should not ever be walked over. It should never have your feet pointing toward them. It should never be in a dirty, unclean place. It should be in the cleanest, the best places. Take your deeds, your money, your checks, and all your jewelry out of the safe. Put that in and lock that up. Because if you lose that, goodbye enlightenment. Money can be replaced. Dharma cannot. I'm not saying to do that literally. I'm trying to explain the word. The Dharma books are very important. To have anything to do with it, to even to see the Dharma, to be able to read it, to understand the Dharma. It takes aeons and aeons of prayers and meditation and merits to be able to hear the Dharma. Not particularly of this crazy monk here, but the words that's coming out of my mouth is being repeated to hear those words, not to see me, not to be with me, not that I'm holy and it takes so much merit for you to be with me. That's not the point. The point is to hear what this person is saying. The message, it takes merits, eons of prayers and meditations. And you have that opportunity now. Don't waste it on money, affairs of this life, being dissatisfied, nagging, fighting, screaming, cheating, lying. Don't do that anymore. Practice the Dharma and show respect for the practice in physical form. Number 5, not to allow yourself to be influenced by people who reject Dharma's teachings, Buddha's teachings. And that doesn't mean, oh, he's not a Buddhist, I can't run around with him. No. People will say, kill, it's good for you, bye. Oh, steal, that's the right way. He stole from you, get him back, steal, get him back, destroy him. Not to listen to people who contradict Buddha's teachings in that way. Of course, you can be friends with a nice Muslim man, with a nice Jewish girl, with a wonderful Christian man, with a fabulous Hindu girl. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. But ones that contradict actually means not non-Buddhists. It doesn't refer to that. It refers to people who pull you down by negative actions. To regard anyone who wears the robes as an ordained person as an actual Sangha. The real Sangha are beings, robed or not robed, who have realized emptiness, arhats. For example, beings who have realized emptiness in shunyata are the real Sangha. That is the real Sangha. Alright? Definitive Sangha. Now, the Sangha that we have here are beings who may or may not have attained shunyata, emptiness, but they are holding the Praktimoksha vows. They are holding the vows, 253, not your 10 measly ones, 253 we're holding. So you can put the spotlight on me and clap. 253 the Sangha is holding. That is the Praktimoksha vows as spoken by the Buddha, self-liberation vows. Based on the 4 vows, no killing, no lying about one's attainments. If one doesn't, you don't have clairvoyance, you tell them you have clairvoyance. You have to disrobe yourself. No lying, no killing, no stealing, and no sex, period. Based on these 4, 249 vows are kept by the Sangha. That is why we respect the Sangha. We don't respect them because they're wearing long, beautiful, flowing maroon wine-colored robes and they look graceful like me. That's not the reason we respect them. We respect them because they're holding vows. They're holding the liberation vows. They have cut their hair out of renunciation. They have given up wine, women, and fun to have time to practice the Dharma. I'm not self-praising myself, but I'm telling you the truth. Honestly, I'm conveying a message to Buddhists. The third jewel, Sangha. We should let the Sangha sit at the front. We should give their food first. Their food should be clean. We should respect them, talk nicely to them, not scream and shout, because if you scream, shout, and disrespect them, you are disrespecting the Praktimoksha vows. Which leads to enlightenment. So indirectly, you are disrespecting the state that they represent. Enlightenment. They should be kept clean. They should be talked nicely. You shouldn't argue, fight, scream, shout, walk around in unseemly clothes around the Sangha. Never. Never. You should never do things that are disrespectful near the Sangha because they are holding the vows. Then to go for refuge to the three jewels again and again, remembering their good qualities. Not just once, I got for refuge once. To go again and again to make communion with the three jewels. To remind yourself. Offer the first portion of whatever we eat to the three jewels, remembering their kindness. Before your meal, at least once a day. Of course, if your work, it's not possible, you know? If you buy McDonald's hamburger, you cut out 1/4. Little miserly cannot give it, isn't it? At least at dinner. A little portion, you should have a special bowl, not an old chip bowl that you don't use. Or cinnamon's old bowl and you wash that out and purify it and Dettol and all that, use it for the Buddha. No. A real nice, clean bowl of the precious substance. Porcelain, clay, brass, copper, silver, or gold. And every meal, a portion of your meal, the best portion of each meal, to the Buddha, not the burned rice at the bottom of the pot offered to Buddha. No, the best portion of each of your vegetables, just a little bit, and offer it to your Buddha, to the Dharma, to the Sangha. Should be done daily. If you're traveling, of course, it's an exception. If you don't do it, Buddha is not going to starve. With compassion, always encourage others to go for refuge. Not convert. Don't go running around knocking on doors. You want to get enlightened? When they open up the door. You want a copy of the Lamrim? $14.95 at all the airports. No, not that type. No. We don't go around converting people. Open up missionaries. Run to South Africa. Run around the forest. Can you see me running around the forest with the arrows and the poison arrows running around saying, Lamrim, heaven? Finished. No, not that way. People who are already practicing to encourage them. Encourage them by praise. Encourage them by help, assistance, materially, emotionally. Encourage them, especially by your own practice and your own example. That's the best way. When we go to a Dharma center and someone goes, what I want? Bye. We go to the next Dharma center if we go. I know a lady who's gone to 48 Dharma centers. Really? Because she wasn't very happy with the first, second, third, all the way up to the 48. She's been to 48 Dharma centers. Can you believe? I'm the 49th. And I'm telling her to go away. Yes, it's not a joke. To encourage others, especially, I feel this vow, by your own example. Not by a lot of talks. Number 10, remembering the benefits of refuge again and again. Can anyone remember the benefits of refuge? Okay, the 8 benefits, yes. The first one is you become a true Buddhist, a true blue Buddhist. You get a badge, you get a certificate and a ribbon. You're a real Buddhist. You become a candidate for all the vows. You will use up all your obscuration acquired from previously accumulated karma. All your negative karma from your previous life will slowly be completely destroyed when you take refuge. You will easily accumulate a huge amount of merits, a huge amount of good karma, in order that you can fulfill your spiritual and material, temporary and ultimate wishes. You will not be bothered by the harmful actions of humans or creatures. Spirits, demons, black magic, spells, ghosts, goblins, Casper the friendly ghost. Nobody can bother you anymore. No one. Once you have taken refuge. How can they bother you? When they come to harm you, you practice compassion. How? How can any spirits harm you when they come and you practice meditation? And you practice compassion and love and you feel sorry for them. They can feel it. No more. Someone sends some bombos and chants things in front of your house. The minute you take refuge, his effects become nothing. Nothing is more supreme than the Buddha because he is free of all delusions, free of all suffering. He is free of all fears. When we take refuge in a being that is free from all fears, how can we have any fears come to us? You will not fall to the lower realms. By taking refuge, you will not be born in one of the hells as an animal, as a spirit. You will not. Because by taking refuge, you avoid the very actions that take you down there. Very obvious. You will effortlessly achieve all your temporary and long-term aims and you will soon be enlightened. Those are the 8 benefits, 8 main benefits, but the benefits are actually hundreds, which we will not have time for. Many benefits. How do you take refuge? You can take it officially with your teacher. You can request it. You can ask for it. Once you ask for refuge, there's few things you must remember. Once you have taken refuge from that teacher, you and that teacher are sealed. They are your guru, you are their disciple, and you should act accordingly, which is what we're going to talk about next. That's why I hardly ever give out refuge, because I am far from being qualified. Number 1. Number 2, once you have taken refuge, you must hold these 12 vows, which I'll leave at the center for people. You must hold these 12 vows. If you take refuge verbally and you don't hold the vows and you don't hold the 10 non-avoidances, what's the use of taking refuge? You swear to be a wonderful, sincere, and powerful, because a beneficial doctor, not to think about money, position, and power. And the minute you get out, you're taking coffee money left, right, and center. Oh. So, when you take refuge, you should hold the 12 avoidances of the refuge vows, which I've talked about, and within that, the 10 avoidances. One should actually take this piece of paper. This piece of paper will be better than any Dharma statue, any Dharma text that you can get. If you should take this paper, you should get the letters written in gold, frame it, keep it on your altar, read it daily, and think about it, meditate and contemplate and hold it and feel it. That is what's going to take you to enlightenment. Not a lot of ridiculous rituals that you never understand. You don't even know how many arms that deity has. Forget what to do with that deity. Some of us can't even remember the prayers and mantras, although we've been told many times. This is what counts. Holding the vows. Holding the vows is the basis. So, when we actually take daily refuge, we sit, we relax, we visualize in front of us the Buddha, Shakyamuni, or our meditational deity. It may be Tara, it may be Tsongkhapa, it may be Avalokiteshvara, it may be Kuan Yin Chinezi, it could be Zambala, whatever we think it is, in front of us, on a throne, sitting on a lotus in the sun. We visualize, let's take Buddha Shakyamuni, who is inseparable from our teacher, our Sifu. The Mahayana psychology is wonderful because people we hate, we stick in the back. People we like, we put in the front. In Mahayana psychology, it's reversed. People you don't like, you put in the front. You stare at them. You're made to stare at them. People you don't like, your enemies, the people that curse you, harm you, try to nag you and bother you and really are bothersome, you keep in the front. The people you like, your relative, your benefactors, you keep in the back. You try to develop less attachment. It doesn't mean you don't appreciate them. And just because they're further back doesn't mean they don't get the Buddha's blessings or less or diluted. Then your mother on your left, your father on your right, whether they're alive or not doesn't matter. Whether they are Buddhist or not doesn't matter. Your mother here, your father here, appreciation. This is the most precious thing in your life. So you should share it with the people you love, whether they like it or not. If they don't like it, don't say, hey mom, you're in my meditation, I'm refuge. Mother here, father here, loved ones in the back, enemies in the front, all facing up to Lord Buddha, and all beings of the 6 realms. Hell, animals, spirits, humans, demigods, gods, devas and asuras, demigods and gods. Asuras would be the demigods in English. All around you in the form of humans, taking refuge completely in the Buddha. And as you take refuge, when you recite the words, I take refuge in the Guru, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. As you recite the words, you should visualize everybody around you simultaneously repeating those words. Simultaneously. Doesn't matter if they're Buddhist or not. It doesn't make a difference at this point. It is a sense of giving, sharing, selflessness, thinking about others before oneself. That's the point here. That's Mahayana psychology. That is Buddhist psychology. So you take refuge, and then after that, you should go one step further and recite the refuge vows and try to hold it. And from that day on, after you recite the words, I take refuge in the Guru, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. In Chinese, Sanskrit, Tibetan, doesn't matter. Lam like it's Sanji like it's Chö like it's Gendun like it's Chio. Tibetan, Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sanghaya. Then something fat in Chinese. I can't remember. I know there's a lot of fats and thoughts. In any case, whatever you like, Chinese, Sanskrit, whatever, you recite, but the feeling must be here. I will abandon negative actions. I will increase virtuous actions. And you trust the Buddha. And from that day on, you take refuge and you have faith in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. But after you have taken refuge, then you relax. Any negative karmas come, you just say, oh, Buddha. You just think and take it with dignity, no matter how difficult it is. And don't react back anymore. Don't shout back. Decrease your negativity. Stop your negative action. After that. And then take it again the next day. Take refuge again the next day. Take refuge again and again and again. Even if you don't take it officially with a lama, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with rituals and ceremonies and names and bells and all that. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with transforming your minds. So you take your refuge 1 day, to 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. You should change more and more and hold your vows better and better. That is refuge. Take refuge. Do refuge. Enter refuge. Hold the vows. Know the benefits. Understand the benefits. Think about it again and again. That is refuge.